In the mid-1980s, behind the fortified walls of the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York, an unexpected alliance formed between two men from starkly different criminal backgrounds. John Gotti, the notorious Dapper Don and head of the Gambino crime family, was a figure whose name alone commanded both fear and respect. His cellmate George Martorano was serving a life sentence, the harshest penalty ever imposed on a first-time nonviolent drug offender. For 2 years, these men shared not just a cell, but their lives, routines, and secrets. Mortorano's first-hand account unveils the enigmatic persona of Gotti, a man who could be both ruthless and caring, calculating and human. Through the walls of their cell, the untold story of Gotti's complexities emerges, a story of power, loyalty, and survival in one of the most unrelenting environments imaginable. This is the untold tale of the Dapper Don behind bars. The federal penitentiary where Gotti and Mortorano were housed was a stark and unrelenting environment. Designed to contain the most dangerous and high-profile inmates, its walls echoed with unspoken rules of respect and hierarchy. Every corner of the facility carried an air of tension, where the slightest misstep could escalate into conflict. Guards maintained strict control, but the real power lay in the social dynamics among the inmates. For John Gotti, this was just another battlefield. Even in confinement, he carried his reputation with him. He was not just another prisoner, he was a symbol of power and defiance. His name alone was enough to influence the social dynamics of the prison. Other inmates watched him closely, gauging his every move, seeking to either align with him or avoid conflict. His reputation afforded him privileges that others could only imagine, from deference in the mess hall to the ability to command silence in a crowded room. For Martorano, entering this prison system as a drug trafficker was a harsh adjustment. Facing a life sentence, he had to quickly learn the unspoken rules of survival. Alliances and respect meant everything, and a wrong move could have serious consequences. Sharing a cell with Gotti was not an arrangement he chose, but it became a defining part of his incarceration. The pairing offered both opportunities and risks, a chance to learn from one of the most formidable figures in the criminal world, but also the challenge of living up to Gotti's exacting standards. The cell itself was a small, claustrophobic space, a stark reminder of their confinement. Yet, within those walls, the two men carved out a space of relative stability. Mortorano observed how Gotti's mere presence commanded a certain level of order within the chaos of prison life. Gotti's reputation served as a valuable asset. Even prison guards who were supposed to remain impartial often treated Gotti with a grudging respect, further cementing his influence. George Martorano's initial meeting with John Gotti was a moment steeped in tension and curiosity. As Gotti entered their shared cell, Mortorano, understanding the importance of first impressions in such an environment, prepared a gesture of goodwill, a meticulously arranged fruit salad accompanied by a freshly brewed cup of coffee. This offering was not merely about hospitality, it was a strategic move to establish a foundation of respect. Gotti's response was subtle yet telling. A measured nod of approval, a slight but genuine smile, and a calm demeanor signaled his acceptance of Martorano's gesture. This brief interaction set the tone for their relationship, establishing an unspoken understanding between the two men. Mortorano quickly realized that Gotti's legendary charisma was not an exaggeration. Gotti possessed an innate ability to command attention without uttering a word. His reputation as the Dapper Don was well-earned, with his impeccable grooming and confident stride reinforcing his larger-than-life persona. In the confined world of the prison, where news traveled through whispers and glances, stories of Gotti's courtroom bravado and his uncanny ability to charm and intimidate in equal measure were well known among the inmates. This was a man who thrived on control and loyalty, even behind bars. Mortorano later revealed that Gotti's charm wasn't limited to other inmates. Even prison staff found it hard to resist his magnetism. Officers who were otherwise indifferent to prisoners often found themselves engaging with Gotti, drawn to his air of authority and confidence. It was as if the walls of the prison only amplified his aura rather than diminishing it. We'd like to ask you a small favor. If you enjoy our content, kindly take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. 99% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. We trust that you can do it. It will make a huge difference and support us in keeping up the good work. Thank you. Now, let's go back to the video. Sharing a cell with John Gotti meant adapting to a life governed by an unspoken yet rigid code. Gotti's daily routines were a testament to his disciplined nature. Each morning began with a set ritual, waking up at the same early hour, performing a series of exercises to maintain his physical fitness and meticulously grooming himself to uphold his Dapper Don image. This routine was not just about personal upkeep. It was a statement of resilience and defiance against the dehumanizing aspects of incarceration. One of Gotti's preferred pastimes was playing solitaire. He approached the game with a strict sense of honesty, reportedly never cheating, a reflection perhaps of his personal code of conduct. Meals became communal rituals, where the two men would share not just food, but also stories and philosophies. Conversations often delved into topics ranging from the significance of family bonds to the intricacies of street ethics and the broader philosophical questions of fate and destiny. Gotti's influence extended far beyond the confines of their cell. Despite the physical barriers, he maintained connections with his associates on the outside, receiving regular updates and issuing directives through coded messages and trusted intermediaries. Within the prison, he acted as an advisor to other inmates, offering counsel on matters ranging from legal strategies to personal disputes. His ability to mediate conflicts among prisoners further solidified his reputation as a leader, even behind bars. For Mortorano, earning Gotti's trust was a gradual process. By respecting the boundaries set by Gotti and demonstrating loyalty, he transitioned from being merely a cellmate to a confidant. They shared experiences, from navigating the complexities of prison politics to engaging in deep personal discussions, creating a bond rooted in mutual understanding and respect. Mortorano noted that Gotti's unwavering routine was as much about mental survival as it was about discipline. He never let the prison take away his dignity, Mortorano said. This resilience inspired those around him, even as it underscored the weight of his persona. John Gotti, known as the Dapper Don, was a man of contrasts. Publicly, he was the formidable leader of the Gambino crime family, commanding both fear and unwavering loyalty. Privately, however, George Martorano, who shared a cell with Gotti for 2 years in the mid-1980s, observed facets of Gotti's personality that contradicted his notorious public image. One particularly surprising aspect was Gotti's affection for Martorano's family. He insisted on arranging special dinners for Martorano's loved ones during their visits, ensuring they were treated with utmost respect and hospitality. These gestures revealed a softer, more human side of Gotti, one that valued family bonds and personal connections. It was a stark contrast to the ruthless persona that had made him infamous. However, Gotti's manipulative tendencies were always present. Mortorano observed how Gotti used his influence to settle disputes within the prison, often orchestrating outcomes that reinforced his dominance. Even in confinement, Gotti's ability to control situations and people was a testament to his strategic mind and his deep understanding of power dynamics. This duality made Gotti a complex figure, embodying both the feared mob boss and the caring individual who valued personal relationships. Mortorano's first-hand account provides a unique glimpse into the multifaceted nature of one of history's most notorious criminals. Gotti's duality extended to his interactions with the guards. While maintaining a tough exterior, he occasionally offered advice or humor to diffuse tense situations. This ability to read and influence people, be they inmates or staff, was what truly set him apart. Life in a high-security prison was fraught with tension and potential danger. Power struggles among inmates were a constant threat, and John Gotti was no exception to this reality. His reputation as the formidable boss of the Gambino crime family made him both a target and a figure to be revered within the prison hierarchy. George Martorano recalls instances where Gotti navigated these challenges with a blend of cunning and authority. In one notable incident, when Martorano was sent to solitary confinement for a minor infraction, Gotti took it upon himself to ensure that Martorano's cell remained untouched. He issued a stern warning to other inmates, making it clear that any attempt to claim the bunk would result in severe consequences. This act not only protected Martorano's space, but also reinforced Gotti's influence and control within the prison hierarchy. However, Gotti's time in prison was not without personal challenges. In 1996, while incarcerated at the United States Penitentiary in Marion, Illinois, Gotti was involved in an altercation with another inmate, Walter Johnson. This confrontation reportedly left Gotti injured, highlighting that even the most feared mob boss could face vulnerabilities behind bars. Gotti's health began to deteriorate during his time in Marion. Years of chain-smoking cheap cigars caught up with him, and he developed throat cancer, which went untreated for a significant period. Despite his physical decline, Gotti's influence in the prison system remained undiminished. His associates outside continued to show deference to him, even sending money and gifts to bolster his status within the inmate hierarchy. These moments underscored the complex dynamics of prison life, where respect and fear were intertwined, and power was often the difference between survival and vulnerability. For Mortorano, witnessing these interactions was a stark reminder of the unique environment they inhabited, where alliances were crucial and the balance of power could shift rapidly. Mortorano also observed that Gotti's influence extended to how prison rules were enforced. Guards were less likely to antagonize him directly, understanding the ripple effect such actions could have on the inmate population. The delicate balance of power further emphasized Gotti's exceptional standing. Mortorano recounted how even rival factions within the prison, be they gang-related or unaffiliated, respected Gotti's standing. His ability to mediate conflicts and ensure mutual survival strategies among diverse groups made him a unique force within the high-stakes environment of prison life. After serving over 3 decades, George Martorano was granted clemency in 2015. Reflecting on his time with John Gotti, he speaks of the profound lessons learned from observing the mob boss's behavior. Gotti's unparalleled ability to command loyalty and navigate intricate relationships left an indelible impression on Martorano. Gotti's legacy is undeniably complex. While his incarceration led to a significant decline in his physical health, culminating in his death from throat cancer in 2002, it also cemented his status as one of the most infamous figures in organized crime. The juxtaposition of his feared public persona with the personal vulnerabilities witnessed by those close to him continues to intrigue scholars and the public alike. Martorano's post-incarceration journey further underscores the lasting impact of his experiences. Since his release, he has become an advocate for criminal justice reform, sharing his story to deter others from a life of crime. His reflections on Gotti offer a unique perspective on the human facets behind the notorious Dapper Don, providing valuable insights into the complexities of criminal life and the possibility of personal transformation. In essence, the legacy of John Gotti serves as a testament to the multifaceted nature of power, influence, and redemption. His life story remains a subject of study and fascination, symbolizing both the allure and the peril inherent in the world of organized crime. Mortorano frequently incorporates lessons from Gotti into his advocacy work, highlighting the significance of maintaining personal dignity and resilience even when confronted with overwhelming challenges. The story of John Gotti and George Martorano offers a unique glimpse into the complexities of life within the Mafia. It is a tale of respect, loyalty, and the duality of a man who is both feared and admired. For Martorano, those 2 years in a shared cell were a defining chapter in his life, a chapter that revealed the human side of one of America's most notorious mob bosses. Their story serves as a reminder of the high price of a life lived outside the law and the enduring intrigue of figures like Gotti, whose legacy continues to captivate the public imagination. Thank you so much for staying with us to the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed today's video and can't wait to share more Mafia stories with you. Make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe to see more Mafia Mystique content.